Some guys are now shaving off their eyelashes to look more manly. Yep, you heard that right. But why would anyone want to get rid of something that actually protects your eyes and can actually make you look better? Today we're diving into a strange new trend that's making its rounds on TikTok. And as a facial plastic surgeon, I want to help you understand what's really going on. From the science to the psychology to what it says about how we view beauty. So first off, what is this trend? On TikTok and Reddit, there are videos of men using trimmers and scissors to cut down their eyelashes. Some say it makes them look tougher, more masculine, not like those pretty boys. And it's part of a bigger trend called looks maxing. In the past, we did a video on mewing, which is also technically under the umbrella of looks maxing.
Looks maxing is basically the art of making yourself look as good as possible. Now, the most basic look maxing method is mewing. You rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth all day, every day. This method, I can personally attest, it does work. It has defined my jawline much more than it was before I started mewing. I also breathe through my nose at all times.
Basically, people are trying all sorts of things to improve their appearance, even if it means removing things that many people consider attractive. And some people are turning this into a culture war, saying that long lashes on guys is a sign of being too soft or just not manly enough. But some people are pushing back, saying it's just another way to pass judgment on how we look. So what started as a grooming choice has now turned into a debate about gender identity and even freedom of expression. But here's the deal, eyelashes are not just there for looks. They serve functional purposes. They actually protect your eyes. They block dust and dirt. They help keep your eyes from drying out. And they filter intense sunlight, which lowers your risk of getting things like cancer and cataracts. And it also helps reduce glare and improves visual quality. They even tell your brain to blink when something gets too close. Shaving them off means your eyes are now more exposed, more dry, and more likely to get irritated and possibly infected. And the act of removal can be full of potential problems because your eye is right there. You have an increased risk of corneal abrasions, for example, or even worse injuries, because imagine those instruments are floating around right next to your eyeball. I can tell you from my personal experience of having alopecia areata and losing my eyelashes completely for a number of years that my eyes were definitely more sensitive to light and also would get more irritated. I don't recommend that to anyone. Here's a fun fact. There's actually a sweet spot for how long our eyelashes should be. Scientists found that lashes about 1/3 the width of your eye are the most effective at keeping your eyes moist and clean. Any shorter or even too long and they don't work as well. That means that when guys shave their lashes off completely or trim it down quite short, they're not just changing how they look, they're also hurting how their eyes work. So why are some men doing this? I think it comes down to how we think about masculinity. Some guys just simply see long lashes as too feminine.
Ladies, I just want y'all to know that this is how y'all be looking when y'all get them big eyelashes. I mean, how can you even see? I can't even open my eyes. I can't even see in front of me.
But here's the thing, certain feminine traits on men, like longer lashes or smoother skin, can actually make someone look more attractive overall. It can add balance to the face and can make someone look more approachable. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at some of these most talked about celebrities, like Zayn Malik, Timothée Chalamet, and Cillian Murphy. All three are known for having noticeable lashes, and it works. They stand out. It adds to their unique features. I don't think anyone's calling them less masculine. Other facial features that are classically associated with female beauty can be attractive on men when it's there in combination with other masculine features. Take, for example, Brad Pitt's lips or Cillian Murphy's cheekbones. I think those features add to their appeal and their masculinity. I don't think it takes away from it at all. Let's talk about J.D. Vance for a second, the Vice President of the United States. During his vice presidential debate and other public appearances, many people noticed his eyes looked like he was wearing eyeliner. Social media buzzed with comments and jokes about his seemingly defined eyes.
I am a Gen Xer who always lined my top and bottom lashes, and I noticed that's what JD is doing here.
Now, if we look closely, we can see that Vance has lined the inner corner of his eyes with a dark black.
Some thought he was using makeup to enhance his appearance, while others believed it was just his naturally thick, dark eyelashes creating that effect under bright studio lights. This situation sparked discussions about masculinity and appearance. It showed how even natural features can lead to assumptions and debates about gender norms and presentation. But here's the flip side. Some people, men and women, actually want longer lashes. And there are, of course, different lash serums for that, but there are also eyelash hair transplants. Yes, hair can be moved from the back of the scalp and implanted into the eyelid itself. It's delicate. It's technical, but when done right, it can make a big difference for people who've lost their eyelashes from things like trauma, medical issues, or overplucking. I personally do not offer eyelash hair transplants out of an abundance of caution and concern for long-term eye health. But I do perform eyebrow hair transplants, which is a great option for people who've had different types of injuries or just thinning eyebrows over the years, or sometimes even medical conditions that have wiped out their eyebrows completely. Though many people come to me for an eyebrow hair transplant to just improve their overall symmetry and the fullness of the eyebrows. The process is very similar to an eyelash hair transplant, except you don't run the risk of the hairs growing towards the cornea itself and possibly scratching the eye. Back to TikTok. The stubby lash trend is just one way that social media messes with the way that we should think about how we look. The danger? Some of these trends go viral fast and they're not always safe. You get peer pressure. You get people doing things without thinking long term. And you sometimes get guys hurting their eyes just to fit in. Recently, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, made headlines with his comments about masculine energy in the workplace. In a podcast interview, he expressed concerns that corporate culture has become culturally neutered and advocated for embracing traits like aggression and assertiveness, which he associates with masculinity. Zuckerberg's remarks sparked a significant backlash. Critics argue that promoting such a narrow view of masculinity can reinforce outdated gender stereotypes and undermine efforts toward inclusivity in the workplace. This controversy highlights how discussions about masculinity are not just about personal grooming choices, like shaving eyelashes, but also about broader societal and corporate norms. It raises important questions about how we define masculinity and the impact of these definitions on our workplaces and communities. The stubby lashes phenomenon is a prime example of how quickly and widely beauty trends can spread, influencing perceptions of masculinity and attractiveness. The bottom line is that your lashes are there for a reason, and having them doesn't make you any less masculine. If anything, it might actually be the thing that makes you stand out in a good way. And for those concerned about the appearance of their eyelashes, there are safer alternatives to removal. Consulting with grooming professionals or exploring styling options can help achieve desired aesthetics without compromising eye health. And hey, if you're thinking about your overall hair health, including the scalp and facial hair, that's where some cosmetic hair products can help. Our Feel Confident products include a thickening shampoo, conditioner, and foam made with ingredients that support scalp and follicle health. We also have prescription hair medications available there too, so please make sure to check them out. Myself and my entire team are super grateful for all of your support. So before you pick up the razor, take a breath, look in the mirror. You might actually look better than you think. If you've seen the stubby eyelash trend and you're thinking about trying it, maybe now you've got a little bit more info to make a smart choice. If you found this interesting, make sure to hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about this trend?